All right, guys, well, I'm back today with one of my absolute favorite high-value red dots that you can possibly get for under $4 the Holosun AEMS. This particular version is actually the OPMOD version from Optics Planet, and this color is available at Optics Planet if you select this guy right here. Now, it's a pretty interesting color variation of that gray, and we'll talk a little bit more about the different versions that they offer, but I want to give a huge shout out to Optics Planet for sending this over to the channel for us to test. They've been a huge supporter over the years, and you know I've got that 704 TAC to save you some money, so definitely check these guys out. And again, just thanks to them for always having my back no matter what happens on YouTube. Now, this also is the green variation with the multi-reticle design, and it's got the solar panel located on the top, and we'll talk a little bit about that as we go through the full overview of this optic. Now, before we get started, I do want to mention the ammo we've been running through this setup. I'm actually running the Palmetto State Armory Billet Saber line, and I've also been running AAC 556, either the 62 grain or the 55 grain, a lot of rounds through this setup, and it's been working great. For more info, you can check out the campsite page. Now, with that being said, I actually have previous and other versions of the Holosun AEMS that have been tested on the channel with thousands of rounds through them with no issues whatsoever, and this one did not have any issues at all down at the range when it comes to holding zero, reliability, or function. Those other versions I've tested also survived the water bottle test with flying colors without any shifts in zero, so these are built incredibly durable, and that starts from the bottom and works their way up. And let's discuss it. It's got a cross bolt design that locks everything together to the mount itself, and everything is torqued properly from the mount to the optic. You'll also notice this is a very flush optic with no snag points or connection points that are going to get caught on your kit, which is really key. The other thing that actually lends with durability and helps with anti-snag is the fact that the turrets are embedded into the optic itself flush. This means when you hit those turrets, they're not affecting the internals because you're also hitting the housing at the same time. Probably one of the reasons why it did so well during that water bottle test. This also has sacrificial lenses on the top of the optic that you can actually flip down, and you can see right there. Those sacrificial lenses are going to save you if you get smudges or dirt or something on your optic. You can flip those down and still engage your target without wiping them clean, worrying about scratching. And those are pretty slick because they are very clear when you're looking through them, but they also sit flush. Also, when it comes to durability, we have 2 screws on the battery tray with an extra battery tray inside the box itself, so that's a nice touch, and overall this has been holding up amazing. Now let's talk about some of the overall color variations that Optics Planet offers. Now, this is the gray version, but they also offer tan in the Optics Planet exclusive, as well as black, and they have green color variations, and then red dots as well as green dots, not color variations. So this is the green module, and it works really good down at the range. The green doesn't wash out in foliage, despite some other commenters on YouTube saying that about green dots in general. This is a different type of green, not a naturally occurring green in the environment, so you can pick it up incredibly well. And some people really like green a lot better than red. I find it to be a touch easier to pick up with my eyes than red, but overall it's great. This gets insanely bright down at the range. I mean ultra bright. And this one has 8 daytime settings and 4 night vision settings. And despite other micro dots, this is actually a large enough viewing window that you could potentially use on a riser or something like that with night vision devices, or different digital or thermal night vision behind it or in front of it, depending on your setup you're running. So that's pretty cool. The other thing about this is it's got an operating temperature of negative 30 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius. You're not going to get it in a temperature that it's going to mess up. And also it's IPX8 waterproof rated, which is that step above IPX7, 2 meters, fully submergible, a very long time. This is where it starts getting into the professional grade or duty grade optics over some of the other high value and budget red dots on the market. You could truly submerge this completely for a very long time. So I guess if you're, going through a lake or something crazy, it's waterproof. It's super, super waterproof, and that's a nice touch. The other thing is it has up to a 50,000 hour battery life, and it's got the solar panel on top. You can actually set the mode on the side to adjust automatically to ambient light. I just like to keep it at a certain setting in the standard mode, and it's got shake awake or auto on technology, so when it senses motion it automatically turns on. When it doesn't, it shuts off or goes into a sleep mode, which is key for any professional grade optic, so that's a nice thing to see. The other thing I'm going to mention is you can actually cycle through the reticle modes to either just the dot itself, just a 65 MOA circle, or the 2 MOA dot and the circle. The dot is incredibly precise for distance shooting, and it's really nice to have that circle go in if you wanted to do some type of CQB shooting. So it's nice that you can cycle through and you're not just fixed with the circle dot. If you want to pause and read more specs and features, you can. Again, OP's got all the info over there as well, but it's a nice, solid red dot for the money, and it's honestly one of my favorites because it incorporates everything I like about a red dot into one nice setup. This is also really good when it comes to parallax, and it also has a multi-layer reflective lens coating on there, so it's going to help with glare and things like that. In summary, guys, it's absolutely awesome. It is one of my favorites. It's got a larger viewing window than a lot of other micro dots, but it's not too large to be bulky, weightful, and cumbersome. It's got a side load battery tray that screws in for ease of change of battery, but solid and robust. It doesn't shift zero, survived the water bottle test, protective turrets, sacrificial lenses, long battery life, insanely bright, and ultra clear glass. This, guys, is the perfect jack of all trades optic, whether you're talking about heading to the range for fun, competition use, personal defense, or duty use. This is going to be a great optic for every scenario. About the only negative, it's going to be right around $4 It's not the cheapest optic in the world, but it does some amazing stuff, especially when compared to other optics in the price range. This, guys, is killing it when it comes to the specs and features. Again, a huge shout out to Optics Planet for always helping out the channel, and AAC for the ammo support. Again, all of the information will be on the campsite page. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.